I think that combining colors is one of the most difficult parts of dressing well for most of us men. So today let's have some fun with colors and take a look at a couple of simple methods to combine them so you always look great in your outfits. We're going to start with the easiest methods first and then move on to more complex ones later. And make sure to watch the entire video because we'll be going over a very useful tool later on in this video. The first and one of the safest methods is to combine neutrals. There are three pure neutral colors, which are black, gray and white. But in fashion, many times colors like beige, brown, cream or taupe are also considered neutral colors and sometimes even navy. What's great about combining multiple neutral colors is that they work very well together, so you can use them as a foundation for your wardrobe. You can combine two or more neutral colors in your outfits. Let's take a look at a few examples. The first combination would be a shade of white and beige. This is a very clean and timeless combination and one that you see quite frequently. For example, most chinos that you see are in a beige color and you can combine them with a white shirt, polo shirt or t-shirt and you have a very minimal but classic outfit combination. Another classic color combination is beige and brown and you can also add some white as a separation. And this brings me to today's sponsor because the sport coat and the pants that I'm wearing are from today's sponsor Hockerty.com. Hockerty produces a variety of made-to-measure clothes that you can customize to your liking. And I love that you can see all changes live, so you know exactly what you're getting. And right now they have a lot of really interesting linen options for summer, such as this beautiful brown sport coat, which fits perfectly in the beige and brown color combination. If you combine white and brown, that's also a very nice combination. And then for winter, you can also go for a combination of brown and gray. Another classic but conservative combination is black and gray. This combination is perfect for winter when it's cold and dark outside and you don't want to make your way through wet and snowy roads in a pair of white trousers. The downside of this combination is of course that it's a little bit monotonous, because in winter almost everybody else is wearing the exact same colors. Everywhere you look you see mostly gray and black outfits. So if you want to lighten this up a little bit, you can add a bolder color in your accessories, such as in your hat or as a scarf. The great thing about neutral colors is that when you combine them, they look very elegant and understated. This is probably also the reason that if you look at the current suit supply collection, for example, I would guess that about 80% of their outfits are in a neutral color combination, and then the other 20% also use lots of neutral colors as well. And this makes them look very minimal and elegant, which fits really well with the quiet luxury trend. The next method of wearing color is to choose monochromatic outfits. Monochromatic schemes use different shades, tones and tints of a single color. And this approach is straightforward and can look very sophisticated. Another benefit of this method is that it's so easy to pull off and to remember. In my opinion, some of the best colors for the monochromatic look are navy, brown, black and cream. Because if you take an entire outfit in navy or black, it can look very masculine and also a little bit mysterious, and they are great for winter, but they can even look good in summertime. And if you have an outfit in different shades of brown, it can look good in any season, but I think it's especially nice during fall when it mimics the colors of the season. And then with different shades of cream or white, you can create some of the most elegant and minimal outfits that are perfect for the quiet luxury look. And they're also ideal for summertime because the light color is going to absorb a lot less sunlight than darker colors. And some people say that monochromatic outfits look a little bit boring, but I personally think that there can be a very simple and effective way to create a nice looking outfit. But if you do want to make them a little bit more interesting, then you can add some color again with your accessories, which could for example be a tie, could be a hat, a pocket square or even your socks. The next method is to combine one or two neutral colors with one non-neutral color. For summer, for example, I think that light colored trousers in either cream or off-white are incredibly versatile, because they allow you to pair almost any non-neutral color on your upper body. Ideally though, you would use a muted shade for a great color combination. For example, you could go for shades of blue, pink or green to create an interesting summer look. But you can also mix two different shades of a non-neutral color with one neutral color. For example, you can wear white trousers with a blue shirt and a blue sport coat in a slightly different shade. And it's important to note that generally muted colors are easier to incorporate than bright and bold colors. For example, a muted pink shirt is generally more flattering than a bright pink one. And I think a helpful tip is to keep your trousers in a neutral color, because this makes it easier to mix and match your outfits without needing a large variety of trousers. Another great example of combining a neutral color with a non-neutral is gray and blue, and particularly navy. This combination is a classic for professional settings and for winter time. And if you want, you can also add black to the mix in order to create a timeless and sophisticated look. The next method is to combine two non-neutrals together and maybe add in a neutral color as well. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more tricky and where we're going to start to use the color wheel to our advantage. Now, one of the problems that I have with most of the color wheels is that even though you can see the relationships between the colors quite well, we typically don't really wear colors in exactly that shade, because usually on most of the color wheels they're just a little bit too intense for menswear, which makes it more difficult to visualize them for everyday life. And this is where the super useful tool from Adobe comes in, because as you can see, we can adjust the tint of the colors and get colors that look more similar to what we would normally wear. So let's use this color wheel to take a look at two important concepts. The first concept is analogous colors. Those are colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel, for example blue, blue-green and green. And these combinations are generally more subtle and harmonious, which is why green and blue, for example, work really well together on outfits. And another interesting example is red and orange. The brown corduroy sport coat from before has a slight red undertone, which is why it works really well with an orange sweater. Another interesting combination is yellow and green, because as you can see in this example, if you combine them together, they work very well. I think this is a super interesting color combination. And then if we look at one of the colors that you see the least in menswear, it would probably be purple. I hardly ever see anyone wearing it, but it can be quite interesting. And if we follow the analogous color scheme, you can combine it with blue for an harmonious look. But keep in mind that because purple is a bit intense as a color, good examples in this case would be to wear it either as a tie, for example with a navy sport coat, or you can wear it in a light shade of purple with blue trousers or a blue shirt. The second concept is about complementary colors. And those are colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel, for example blue and orange or red and green. And these colors create a high contrast and a really vibrant look. Let's take a look, for example, at one complementary color group, which is blue and orange. In this photo, I'm wearing medium blue jeans, an orange sweater, and then the coat is in a neutral beige. So we have one neutral color here and two complementary colors, which is why this works pretty well in my opinion. Complementary colors will produce a stronger contrast and therefore also a bolder look. So keep this in mind when you're creating outfits, because analogous colors, for example, tend to be a little bit more subtle than complementary colors. And that's why, for example, a green tie looks less intense with a navy suit than if you would go for an orange tie, for example. An interesting fact is that our skin tones, regardless of how light or dark skinned we are, all fall on a spectrum of orange. And this explains why pretty much everyone looks good in a blue shirt, because we are naturally creating a complementary contrast. And this technique of combining teal and orange is also quite common in movies because it creates a really nice color contrast. Another interesting color combination is green and red. For example, you could combine a deep burgundy color with a dark green color. I couldn't really find any good examples for menswear, but I think this picture right here is great just to get an idea of how it looks in the end. So if you have a dark green sport coat, for example, then a burgundy sweater would work very well in this case. So you can use this tool to play around with different color combinations, either for items that you already own or also for items that you plan to get. Let's also consider some additional tips for combining color. First, I think it's important to consider the season when you're choosing vibrant colors. For example, pastel colors work really well in spring and in summer, but then in fall and in winter, deeper tones like burgundy or forest green are perfect for the season. The next tip is to start with neutrals, because as I mentioned before, you can build your outfit around neutral pieces and then you add color. It might also be important to consider your skin tone and also your hair color, because warm skin tones tend to look great with warm colors, for example like reds and yellows. But if you have more of a cool skin tone, then those are usually complemented by cool colors like blues or green, and then neutral skin tones can wear a variety of different colors. And it's also important to pay attention to the context, because you do want to choose colors based on the occasion. For a business meeting, for example, you want to stick for more conservative tones, but for a casual outing, you can experiment a little bit with more bolder colors. And I think, as with everything in life, I think it's important to remember that the key is balance and moderation. Too much color can be overwhelming, so use vibrant pieces to accentuate your outfit. I really hope this video was helpful to you, and if you enjoyed this video, then you're also going to like this video right here, where I show great examples of spring color combinations for men.